Skywalkers!
Hey everyone! Welcome to Indie Day!
Yeah, what could we be celebrating today? Well, what do you think?
Hatwear? Let's celebrate hatwear.
Yay!
I just can't pull off a hat.
I think it looks
I
cute!
cannot pull off a hat.
Why
is that? Why? I don't... Are you telling me?
Because your hair is so lustrous. I don't know.
See, if I go like this, then it's more... Well,
No.
See, this looks more 80s.
I don't know, it's weird.
Yeah.
Maybe it's your nose. Well, people with longer faces, I think, look better in hats.
Yeah.
Than us. We have shorter faces. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I keep
Certain
like
people
this.
just look really good.
This seems to
That looks okay.
work.
Show off your hair.
There you go.
There you go. I
Perfect.
love it.
It's not so hot either.
So now, tell me, is my voice is still like a
little
husky?
A little.
What is up with that?
Hey, well, thank you. Thank you, Norma.
Yay! You look fine. You look handsome.
Well, thank you. That's all I was going for. That's the only reason why we're doing this episode. So I can wear a hat so you can say that.
I know, right? Hey, Courtney.
Hey, Courtney.
Yay!
So before we start recording, is everything set for Friday?
Oh, it's being set.
I saw everyone going back and forth.
Oh, I know. We just need to figure out what time we're actually getting there, so that's all.
Hey, Kelly.
Yay! Welcome, guys.
When does park open at 9?
I think so. Yes. But there is the possibility that they'll let us in early.
Like 8.
Right.
So let's be there at 7:30ish.
We don't know. Probably earlier than that.
Okay.
Okay. All right. But that's for the Avengers campus opening, and we're not talking about that today.
No. Just wait a couple seconds.
I know. We're talking
And I saw you and Courtney and Kelly going back and forth.
about the $100 Pimini.
What is that?
It's a sandwich that feeds like up to 8 people, or however many you want to.
Okay.
But I figure we're gonna have like a big enough group. Well, we're gonna have 5 of us, but then I'm sure we'll know people who are there.
Mm-hmm.
We might want to get a Pimini. I don't know.
Wow.
Might be fun. All right, SkyChat.
We say SkyChat is the chat.
Yes, right.
Right now
there.
You're
So,
writing in the
yes.
SkyChat.
You just wrote in the SkyChat. That's all you mean. That's all you need. Hello, Dan. Welcome.
We needed a name for everyone talking in the comments,
Yes.
and just people talking in the comments wasn't a catchy enough
boring.
name.
Yeah.
And so someone, and I'm embarrassed to say I forget who, threw out SkyChat.
And we liked it. So there you go.
Courtney says, I can't wait to see you try it.
To see, or try it, maybe. I don't know. But to see what? The Pimini?
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm excited.
me too. All
All right. Now,
Should we start?
we need some whip cracking. There you go. Hold on.
I gotta whip.
Let's get this on tape.
All right.
Well, that's all you need. Ow.
That in the airplane.
Yeah. Hey, it works out. That's Jock.
Yes, it is.
Yay. This is what you can look forward to on this whip-cracking episode 331 of Skywalking Through Neverland.
Hey, Skywalkers! If adventure has a name, it must be Indiana Jones. And to hear all about Indy's 40-year legacy, then you've come to the right place. And now, we want to welcome you all to Skywalking Through Neverland. I am Richard Woloski, but now everyone please say hello to my sweetie wife Sarah, the Marion to my Belloc.
Belloc? Belloc?
Belosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always giving you white dresses.
Oh! I get
And
it.
trying to get you drunk.
I get it. Okay. Oh, wow. Well, I can drink you under the table.
Yeah, you can. You versus Marion.
That's right. Well, we are your enthusiastic podcast destination for the many decades of your Star Wars, Disney, and Marvel fandom. So it's time for a big Wookiee hug and a sprinkle of pixie dust and maybe a whip crack or two for our family of Skywalkers. Now, if you're just listening to us, for the first time, well, you are now a Skywalker. And also, just to let you guys know, if you're listening to us, we do record most of our episodes live on YouTube on Tuesdays at 5 p.m. Pacific generally. This week we're a little early, just because. But, because of our interview we're going to record later. So that'll be fun. All right. But we want you guys, wherever you are, however you're listening to us, however you're watching us, join us and the rest of our Skywalking family on a fun and positive adventure through fandom.
Now, we are recording this from Long Beach, California on June the 1st. Happy June, everybody.
Happy Pride Month.
That's very true.
Yeah.
That's very, very true. 2021.
Mm-hmm. Now, we are being sponsored by Small World Vacations. They are a diamond-level Disney vacation planner travel agent. They are a diamond-level Disney vacation planner travel agency and can help you book your trips to Disney parks around the world, and their service is free. There's no extra charge for their service. So head to smallworldvacations.com for a no-obligation price quote and tell them that Skywalking Through Neverland sent you.
And this is the perfect time. Avengers Campus opening this Friday.
That's right, and June 15th, after June 15th, out-of-town guests can come to Disneyland and DCA.
So no excuses.
Yeah, and you can now book, I think, 120 days out, make reservations for Disneyland or DCA. So you have more time to plan, more time to call Small World Vacations, and tell them that Skywalking Through Neverland sent you.
I can't say it enough. No excuses, out-of-town Skywalkers. All right, now, coming up on this episode, we will celebrate the 40th anniversary of Raiders of the Lost Ark. And Ed Dolista from the IndieCast, he'll be joining us to reflect on favorite moments, the legacy, and the upcoming Indiana Jones 5, Indy in Space.
All right, but right now we have lots to share in
Things we want to share.
All right, JJ, man, I know we will read your memory. Actually, let's see. Oh, well, things we want to share. We have some stuff to go through, but definitely we'll get to your memory as well.
And if anyone else has any memories, please go ahead and unleash.
Yes.
All right, so let's begin with a Raiders of the Lost Ark primer, and we're going to share some of your Facebook comments in just a few minutes. I can't wait to go over these. Really, really fun. Every time we ask for your comments, Skywalkers, you knock it out of the park. Yeah,
and you love sharing these posts too. Like, it's gotten so much reach because it's like, oh, everyone loves movies. We're such a movie lovers. I love it.
Yes, we're movie lovers that love to watch movies at home. All right, Raiders History and Legacy. Now, Raiders of the Lost Ark was released on June the 12th, 1981.
Wow.
So this is 3 months after Sarah.
Yes!
Finally, we can say that.
Yay!
So, something was released after Sarah.
Me.
After Sarah was released.
All
right, now between the original 1981 release and the re-releases of
I love it.
Yeah,
Wow.
I haven't seen this in theaters in so long.
Right. Oh no, have I seen it in theaters?
I don't know, but we'll have to fix that sooner than later, I hope. Raiders is always being re-released at a revival house.
Yeah,
So we'll have to keep an eye on that.
Okay.
Or we can just watch it at home. Now, Raiders... Now, the United States Library of Congress selected it for preservation in the National Film Registry in 1999. And this Preservation Act began in 1989, and it's a selection of films that are culturally, historically, and aesthetically significant. So this began in 1989. Raiders wasn't inducted until 1999.
Right.
Why? Why? They induct 25 films a year.
Well, you know what? They're probably catching up with 80 years of Hollywood.
It's Raiders of the Lost Ark.
I know. But at that time, I mean, it was not 20 years old yet. So...
Yeah, you know what? There were other films inducted beforehand, which Airplane? Come on. Airplane's a great film, but this is Raiders. I know.
Airplane
Star
before?
Wars was one of the first inductees.
Okay, I was gonna
into
say
the National Film. But hey, I'm gonna try this prequel thing sooner or later. Why don't I just try now?
There's no Nazis in this one. Let's just figure it out. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And it's had one TV series.
I've watched some of it, yes. I was never, like, fully into it. I'm not sure why, but...
Well, it wasn't the Indiana Jones that everyone wanted to see on TV because it was
Right.
more educational, where
Right.
Indy's learning about these historical people and incidents, which was great. It was a lot of fun in that regard. It just wasn't what people were hoping out of an Indiana Jones show.
Right. I feel like if I was 5 years older, that would have been the right age for me to see.
Mhm.
Because at that point, I was 11 when Indiana Jones Chronicles came out. And that's when my dad recorded it.
Oh, there you go. And we saw this epic stunt show. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was a ton of fun. But then again, we saw it when they Star Warsized it.
Well, and
Right.
then I actually saw it on a band field trip in like 96 or something like that. Yeah, I thought it was awesome. And then we sat in that theater that night to have the reveal of who won our band's like national contest. I forget if we won. We probably didn't, if I don't remember. But I had a heck of a time at MGM Studios that day. It was awesome. You know, when you're teenagers going around a theme park with other teenagers, it's like the best time ever.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
We didn't win the competition, but look, there's Indiana Jones being chased by a giant boulder.
It was
We're
awesome.
good.
Yay. Aw.
Yeah, and when they Star Warsized it, that was for the last tour to Endor event.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a ton of fun.
Oh, it's amazing.
It was a great Star Wars and Indiana Jones mashup.
Yes,
They
and
should have kept that.
You can find videos of those on YouTube. Like, I think there was 3 shows that night, and they were all a little different because they had different cast members from
The Clone
Star
Wars
Wars,
and the
Wars
movies.
and movies. Yeah, they had different cast members do different things in the scene. Like, they were the volunteers. So,
Yeah, one of the volunteers when we saw the show was Warwick Davis,
Yes.
who kept saying, no, I'm the star of this show. I'm a star, I'm not an extra.
That's right.
Because they brought up some people, the volunteers, to be extras. He's like, no, I'm a star.
That was so cute. All right, and then of course, the other theme park attraction is Indiana Jones Adventure at Disneyland. And this is called, well, it opened as Indiana Jones and the Temple of the Forbidden Eye at Disneyland on March 3rd, 1995.
This confuses me. It opened as the Temple of the Forbidden Eye, but now it's called Indiana Jones Adventure.
Is that what it says on the app?
Yeah.
On the Disneyland app?
Yes.
Okay.
It's now the Indiana Jones Adventure,
So who knows
which
when
is
they
much
changed
better
that.
than
Yeah.
the Temple of the Forbidden Eye because no one ever called it Temple of the Forbidden Eye.
Right.
No one ever did. It's the Indiana Jones ride.
Right. All right.
But then Tokyo Disney Sea opened up Temple of the Crystal Skull on September 4th, 2001.
Oh, that's interesting. That's before the film.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, I love that. I haven't seen that.
No. Has anyone here been to Disney Sea and gone on that ride? We'd love to know about that. I have so many. Well, Indiana Jones Adventure is just a really cool attraction. And it was like the main attraction I had to ride the first time I went to Disneyland in '99.
And when we saw it was like the anniversary of this ride. Was it 2015?
Yes.
Disneyland had a special presentation, and they said, yeah, the truck outside in the queue is the truck that Harrison Ford was hanging off of in the film. It's like, how is it? How many years until I knew this?
I know.
20 years?
Wow. Yeah.
Why isn't there a plaque? Why isn't there like a big giant wooden cutout of this scene?
I don't know.
Something to memorialize it.
Right.
You're burying a great artifact there.
Yeah.
I guess that's what Indiana Jones is all about. Burying artifacts. So, all right, you know what? You know better, Disney. You know better.
Yeah, and I mean, the queue to this ride is just fantastic. It's like a half-mile long. It's like you're going through that opening in Raiders of the Lost Ark yourself, and they can't use it right now because you can't be inside.
Right.
But Kelly is also saying that there is also a roller coaster in Disneyland Paris that is Indiana Jones themed.
Oh? Oh, we'll have to look this up.
We shall look this up. Oh my, what's happened? Paris? Oh no, come on. Okay, you guys share some memories about that. Indiana Jones coaster ride. Indiana Jones at the Temple de Peril. Wow.
Let's add this.
Okay.
So Kelly just told us that there's an Indiana Jones roller coaster.
Yes.
Thank you, SkyChat and Kelly.
Yes, at Disneyland Paris, it is called Indiana Jones at Le Temple du Peril. And I'm sure that's mispronounced wrong, but I love it. The temple, the perilous temple.
This opened in 1993, and I was today years old before I knew that this existed.
93? Oh my gosh! Wow. Well, that's really cool. Now,
wait a minute, we were there in 2009.
Yeah. Did we go on this? We must have, unless it was. Is it still there? Do you guys know?
There's no closing date on the website.
Wow.
How did we miss this?
Whoa.
I don't know.
Huh.
All right.
2014 refurbishment.
All right there, Skywalker meetup in Disneyland Paris.
Oh, is this...
Right.
Wait, is this by that giant skeleton head? I think that's what it is. Okay.
I don't know.
Wow. Okay, well, this did not make as big an impression.
No, I did a search for all the Disney Indiana Jones crossovers.
As Crush's coaster.
Okay.
Huh.
All right. Well, thank you, Kelly.
Yeah.
Well,
awesome.
that looks fun too.
It does.
It looks like the Temple of the Forbidden Eye, but outside.
Right. Right. Exactly.
All right. So let's move on with the legacy of Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark. Now, last week when we were talking about the legacy of Star Wars and the reviews that came out for the first film, 1977, I had mentioned that there was a film reviewer named Pauline Kael of the New Yorker magazine.
Yes, and she did not have not many kind words to say about Star Wars.
No, and not many kind words to say about Raiders.
What?
So I dug up her review, and in short, she says, Lucas and Spielberg had thought like marketeers in creating a film that would appeal to the broadest masses. Duh. Though Raiders is a sophisticated update of older serials that avoids cliches with clever editing, it is too focused on surpassing each previous action spectacle to the detriment of characterization or plot progression.
Wait.
Or plot progression.
There was too many big words in that sentence. I don't know what that means.
She said that the failure of 1941 had made Spielberg too cautious, and scenes evidenced he was rushing and not achieving the best possible take as in his previous work. Boo! Boo! What is this?
Okay, so she says that there's too much action, not enough characterization. Basically what we've been talking about in the Bad Batch. You know, like people are like, oh, what do you focus on? But I feel like
we see Indiana Jones as an adventurer and as an archaeologist and a teacher.
Yes.
And all those scenes are so well played out. What did you miss?
I don't know.
And Lucas and Spielberg are thinking like marketeers? Oh. You're kidding me. That just means they want to make more films.
Right.
And I make a film like a roller coaster?
Wow. Also, though, Justin in the SkyChat is saying that Roger Ebert loved it though and put it in his great movies collection. Which is where it should be. Yes.
Yeah, and Alan Sanborn says, I think Pauline Kael missed the point.
I think Pauline Kael needs a kid or two.
I think Pauline
give her some perspective.
Kael has got the aim of a stormtrooper. So I don't see one thing in her review that I would agree with.
Right.
The failure of 1941 made Spielberg too cautious. Well, he had Lucas to say, no, let's do this, let's do that, and keep pushing him.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, Pauline?
Nope.
If I could go back to 1981, I'd say find another line of work.
That's right. All right, well, did Indy win any Oscars?
Well, funny you should say that, because Raiders of the Lost Ark received 5 awards at the 1982 Academy Awards. It won Best Art Direction, Best Film Editing, Best Sound Editing, and Best Visual Effects, and it lost to Annie Hall.
No.
And it lost best picture to Annie Hall.
That's
not right at all. No, but it did lose best picture to Chariots of Fire. Chariots of Fire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw that.
What was Pauline Kael on the selection committee that year?
I think so. All right. Also, I want to know why it did not win best score. It won best sound editing and best sound, but not best score.
Yes. This is one more reason why I hate the Oscars. Yeah, you're gonna pick Chariots of Fire over Raiders. You're gonna pick Annie Hall over Star Wars. Ordinary People over The Empire Strikes Back.
Wow.
Yeah. See ya. No wonder this is like a cable access show now. All right, now I'm sure you've noticed this, but there's so many films heavily inspired by Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark. So here's a list of a few of these, and I'm sure there's so many more. And you in the SkyChat, if you know any more, please throw them out.
Yeah, start typing.
So in 1982, we had Tales of the Gold Monkey. Ever hear of this film?
No.
This is the last time you'll ever hear of this film.
They must have slapped this thing together really quick.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, the only saving grace, it starred Roddy McDowell.
Oh, really?
But then in 1984, we had Romancing the Stone with Michael Douglas and Kathleen Turner and Danny DeVito. And many people said, maybe this should have been the sequel to Raiders and not Temple of Doom.
Oh
boy.
But it very much had the same tone.
Oh,
like
it
adventure.
Was, yeah.
It's very fun.
Yeah,
I just, honestly, even back then, Michael Douglas never, I didn't like him, so.
Not even
I
War of the
into
Roses?
This film, no.
Oh, speaking of which, War of the Roses had these three, Michael Douglas, Kathleen Turner, and Danny DeVito.
Yeah. All right, also King Solomon's Mines in 1985.
And this was directed by J. Lee Thompson. And I was today years old when I realized this. And J. Lee Thompson, he directed Conquest of the Planet of the Apes and Battle for the Planet of the Apes.
Oh, wow.
For some reason, I just never knew about this film. I knew about it, I just didn't know that J. Lee Thompson had directed it. And this stars Sharon Stone.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Okay. This had a sequel in '87 called Alan Quatermain. Alan Quatermain. All right. From there, we have Firewalker in 1986.
I did not see this.
Chuck Norris and Louis Gossett Jr. You didn't see it?
No.
I doubt you ever will.
But I did see The Mummy in 1999 with, I'm forgetting his name.
Brendan Fraser.
My
buddy from School Ties.
He's so cute. I loved that.
I wanted to see the old Universal style Mummy where it would take the mummy like a day to walk down the street.
Okay.
That's the Mummy I want. I didn't want to see the CG nonsense.
Well, you know what I really liked about this was this Mummy was the soundtrack. It's by Jerry Goldsmith. It has an incredible score. There's this one moment where it's the desert shot, like very long shot, and they're riding the camels, and the score is just pumping, and you're like, this is amazing. So for me, that was what it was about.
Okay. All right. Then we had Tomb Raider in 2001. This was a good spin on Indiana Jones because it was Angelina Jolie.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'll let that one slide, okay?
I never saw this. But I have to add an honorable mention into some of these movies because I feel that Tangled from 2010 was partly inspired by Indy, because if I have to describe Tangled to someone, I say it's part Disney princess film, part Indiana Jones.
Please explain.
Oh my gosh, because Flynn Rider is kind of like that Indy character. He's stealing artifacts, the crown, and there's so much between the Disney princess songs. There's all this action adventure, like especially the scene when they go from the Snuggly Duckling tunnel, like they go in that secret passage tunnel and they go out in the canyon, and then she uses her hair like a whip, like Indy uses his whip, and they're, it's like this action adventure film that's wrapped in a Disney princess wrapping. Like that's why I love it so much, partly.
Okay.
Is because it's that mix of those two genres that I love.
We see what we want to see. Now I see it too.
Okay, good.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh hey, Justin Smith in the SkyChat is saying Disney's National Treasure. Yeah, that was very heavily Indiana Jones inspired.
Yes. By the way, we're sorry if it's choppy. We have it all plugged into the internet, so I don't know what's happening. It's like hardwired, so I'm sorry, guys.
All right, so those were the films that were inspired by Indiana Jones. Now let's talk about crossovers, direct
Ooh.
crossovers between Raiders and Star Wars. And there are many, many of them. So we called through the list and got a select few. Now, in the Clone Wars, the headpiece to the Staff of Ra and the Ark of the Covenant both appear in the series, and they appear in the episodes The Gungan General and Liberty on Ryloth.
Now, I feel like we've probably seen these, but where do they appear?
In the Liberty on Ryloth, you see a couple of people carting away. No, they're carrying the Ark to a shuttle.
Oh, like in the distance?
Yeah, it's like
sort
off
of?
to the side.
Okay. So you don't really recognize it
Right,
unless you're looking.
And the headpiece to the Staff of Ra, I don't recall seeing that.
Okay.
But I looked up of Akator from Crystal Skull in the Trandoshan trophy room.
Whoa.
And this trophy room was a lot like Sid's office from last episode of The Bad Batch.
Like there's so many Easter eggs.
Right.
Nice.
Now the dance sequence in the Season of Jones and Temple of Doom, and this is when we get to see Cy Snoodles dancing. This look was inspired by Irina Spalko, Kate Blanchett from Crystal Skull.
Right.
With that short, tight bob.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then in Rebel on his freighter by a rolling Rathtar.
Right?
Everyone in the theater cracked up.
Oh yeah.
Because not only was this an homage to Raiders, but they reused the same sound in boulder. When you see the rolling Rathtar, you hear the boulder.
What?
Yeah.
I will have to watch that again. I do not remember that.
I wonder if they told Harrison Ford about that.
Yeah.
If the guy that got the Staff of Ra burned into his hand, and the Staff of Ra.
And who likes to carry around coat hangers?
Him. When you put those two names together, you get Tote Ra.
That's funny.
Yeah, and one more.
To share your comments. So in our Facebook group and on our Facebook page, we shared a post with the Indiana Jones poster asking you to share your favorite memories, favorite scenes, and Easter eggs from Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. And we got lots of fun comments here from the SkyChat.
Okay.
So you know what? Let me start with Justin Smith here in the SkyChat. He says, my first memory of Raiders was going on Indiana Jones Adventure. I actually saw Temple of Doom first. When ABC decided to air Raiders and Temple of Doom, I got excited, having seen Temple and never seeing Raiders. I was excited that during the first 20 minutes of the movie, every scene from the ride was portrayed. Oh, so that's fun. You had like the total opposite experience as a lot of people. You went on the ride first.
And he saw it in the correct chronological time order.
Right. Now, Justin, I want to know, is Indy like one of your top favorite rides at Disneyland? I'm curious about that.
All right. Now, Chris Kowalski says, favorite scene? When Belloc eats the fly. So, I read that after the fly went into his mouth, they cut right before the fly flew out of his mouth.
Ew.
Because they wanted that, like, hey, this guy's eating flies.
Oh, I know. Oh my gosh. And you know what? That's one thing I never saw until I must have saw it like on Blu-ray or something, because you're never going to see that on a print copied from TV.
I recall seeing that the first time I ever saw the movie, and I think that took everyone out of the scene.
Oh no.
Because it's like that scene in The Office where they're waiting for the little DVD icon to bounce in the corner. You're looking at that fly going, no, he did it.
Yeah.
So you don't understand what Belloc is trying to say.
No. Talking about Marion or something. He's calling Indy's bluff, but you don't know it.
Yeah, something about Temple of Doom is going to be a prequel. I don't know. So Matthew Irving says, Raiders is the #1 reason I've made my life in this crazy film business. Damn that movie. Wrote my first feature the day after I saw it at 10 years old back in the summer of 1981.
Oh, that's so cool. Jeremy Shields writes, I didn't see the original run, but I've seen an old print played on an IMAX screen. It didn't fill the screen, of course, and a restored print in a theater at another time. Nice. So he made the trek to the theater.
All right, JP Sampson writes, I got a flyer from the Star Wars fan club advertising a sneak preview of a new adventure film with Harrison Ford and Lucas and Spielberg. What a surprise! I think it was a week or two before the official opening. Saw it at the Lakewood Center South in Lakewood, California, which is 5 minutes from where we are right now.
Wow! So JP got to see it. Wow, that's so cool, JP. I also want to share Patricia Vittori here in the SkyChat. She says, it's my favorite film, but I love serials and the historical element. Yes, I am right there with you, Patricia.
Yeah, and I think this is the point that Pauline Kael really lost, that they were going for those serials, where you didn't stop and do character development for 20 minutes.
No, exactly.
Which I think they really succeeded in with the character development. So Pauline, you passed away, so I want to be respectful. All right, Michael Coate, he writes, favorite scene? Probably the truck chase. Easter eggs? The call letters on Jock's plane, which reads OB-CPO.
Of course, that's like
Obi-Wan Kenobi and C-3PO.
Yeah.
And he also writes R2-D2 and C-3PO appearing among the hieroglyphics in the Well of Souls. The submarine from 1941.
Wow.
Well, I guess that's the one that Indy's grabbing onto.
Okay.
And you wonder how he got into the submarine? He's hanging out of the periscope?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Who knows?
Doesn't really matter.
I'll gloss over that.
William Porkins, who plays Hookins in Star Wars, is one of the government guys.
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah.
We have our top men.
Ooh.
Who? Our top men.
You just can't say it like top. Okay.
All right, so Courtney Turkel, she writes...
Oh, I'll read this.
Okay.
Like Star Wars, I never saw Raiders in a theater. We had the first 3 films on VHS, and I had just finished Star Wars, and my parents were like, if you like Star Wars, you should watch them. I started with Raiders and became obsessed with all 3 movies ever since. The scene of all the snakes still creeps me out to this day. And also, Courtney does write about her favorite scene here in the SkyChat. I love the scene where the bad guy is doing all these crazy whip tricks, and then Indy just takes out the gun and shoots him. I laughed so hard. I think, oh yeah, he was doing all the crazy gun. The sword tricks, yeah. But yeah,
big machete.
She laughed so hard, I love it.
Yeah. Courtney Turkel writes, never seen it, too many snakes.
Oh! You've never seen it, Courtney. Kelly, you must watch movies a lot. And what does Kelly do while you watch movies? I'm just curious.
She plays with her dog Chip, or watches something else. Descendants.
Oh, there you go.
So we definitely have to have a double feature with Kelly watching Return of the Jedi, which she hasn't seen, and Raiders. Oh my gosh. Right. All right, so we'll go into some more of your comments and shout-outs.
Yeah, because we got 60 comments or something?
Yeah, a lot of comments.
So we'll share a few more in the shout-outs.
But right now, let's talk with Ed Dollista of the IndieCast podcast, which we haven't done yet.
Nice. All right, which we will do soon. She walked out of the room.
When? The end credits?
Right here. Shout-outs, right?
Yes. Kevin Toft writes, is there a whip? Did I miss the whip?
What?
There'll be plenty of whip sound effects.
Yeah, do it. That's like a whip to my ear. All right, so now we're going to move on to shout-outs because our main talk with Ed Dollista will be on the podcast. All right, so here we go.
Want to start?
Yeah. Oh, you know what? We need to do Skywalking Force.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, so you get that and I'll do this.
Yes.
All right, so now let's continue with all of your Raiders comments that you left in our Facebook group. Mark Badawi, he writes, saw it opening day at a movie theater in Pasadena, California. Just blew me away. Love the story arc and action sequences, which still hold their own today. Yes, they do. I was a huge Harrison Ford fan from Han Solo, and to see him in a new role was pretty awesome. I think that was what really drew most of us Star Wars fans to Raiders. New film with Harrison Ford.
Absolutely. And the fact that it was done by Spielberg and
George Lucas,
like,
and
yeah.
had the whole Star Wars crew.
And, of course, John Williams.
And, yeah. So this was like a first cousin to Star Wars. All right, Alicia Newton, she writes, I saw it the Friday it opened in Waikiki, and then 2 nights later. Loved it, still the best one of the franchise. Robin Beck writes, remember seeing it in the theater with my parents the first time and trying to find my mom in the mall when my cousin couldn't get me in the second time.
Oh.
Mom didn't want to see it because of the snakes. That's a running theme. Indy became one of my favorite movies of all time. I actually did the rope swing into the river at the filming location in Hawaii for my 50th birthday. Oh,
that's
wow.
Amazing.
So that must mean that either the tourist committee of Hawaii put a rope up there or a fan.
Wow.
So now I want to go to Hawaii. Never wanted to go to Hawaii until right now.
Oh, Jurassic Park.
And for Jurassic Park, yes.
Come on. All right, let's see. Where are we?
Robin.
Okay. All right, this is from Robin Wisnai. Where I live, I remember being the only one in the theater watching Raiders on a hot summer afternoon. It was a special day. Just me and Indiana Jones.
Sarah, we're recording. Sarah?
Oh, I was having a JD, flashback.
That's okay. You can dream about Indiana Jones. Okay. He can be on your hall pass. Dave Lucchesi writes, my cousin talked me into ditching school to see it, worth every second of the 2-week grounding.
Whoa.
I couldn't agree more. Jen Vincent writes that I pulled my feet up under the seat and sat cross-legged because I don't like snakes either. Wow.
Oh.
they really touched the nerve on this.
Yeah, they did. All right, let me read Alan Sanborn's here. He says, June 12th, 1981, opening day. Saw the first show at the National in Westwood. How do you guys remember these theaters? I don't know. This one I'd been waiting months for, ever since hearing there was a new film coming out involving Lucas, Spielberg, Harrison Ford, and John Williams. And everything about the movie just worked. That whole opening scene climaxing with the giant boulder.
Wait a minute, hold on, Alan. You didn't include William Hoodkins in that list. Lucas, Spielberg, Harrison Ford, John Williams, and William Hoodkins.
All right, he goes on. The maps showing Indy's flights, Marion's introduction, and the bar fight. Those are apparently favorite scenes. That Arab swordsman scene brought down the house with people laughing and cheering at the same time. But it was the truck chase scene that blew me away. I remember thinking, how can Indy take on this whole convoy on his own? And then you just watch him do it. It was awesome. The finale was a whole new type of special effect we hadn't really seen before. I came back again and again that summer, and I remember that when I brought my mom to see it, she said, that was the most exciting picture I've ever seen. It sure did make the wait for Revenge of the Jedi a lot easier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The 3 years between Empire and Jedi. But now we had Raiders in the summer of 81.
Mm-hmm.
Then we had E.T. in the summer of 82. So it wasn't like we had nothing in those years. You know what? Going back to that truck chase that everyone loves, and the fact that the truck is in the queue in the Temple of the Forbidden Adventure, Indiana Jones.
Yes. Temple of Forbidden Eye?
Yeah, it's like that in the IMAX Chinese Man's Theater. I'm sure someone had tried to jump over the little barrier and get a picture underneath the truck. And if no one's done it yet, I'll be the first one next Friday.
Okay.
So, but we'll do that last, just in case they want to kick me out.
Okay.
Because if I go down, I'm taking everyone with me.
Wow. All right.
All right, with that,
woo!
Let's thank everyone who is part of the Skywalking Force.
Yes. So once a month, we shout out all of your names who are helping us on the Skywalking Force. That's skywalkingforce.com. You guys contribute every month, and we so appreciate it. You help us grow. It's amazing. So without further ado, we want to thank Blessed Cheesemaker,
Darren Irvine,
Patricia Vittori,
Marco Gushewitz,
Patty Nazarian,
Courtney Turkel,
Kelly Turkel,
Carol Cantwell,
Jonathan Heil,
William Magalio,
John Liang,
Dave Kerwin,
Patty Hammond,
John Zancanaro,
Nancy Steinman,
Michael Corbett,
Scott Hume,
Glenn Stein,
Carl Fox,
Dora Speck,
Julie Caruana,
Jeff Long,
Garrett Sessions,
Derek Beebe,
Jennifer Cole,
Mike Ward,
Terry Lee,
Bren McKinnon,
Chickavent,
Wynn Patterson,
Patrick Pine.
Peter and Norma Heitman,
Thanks, Mom and Dad. The Hunt family,
Mike Sanders,
Scott Carmichael,
Anthony,
Reynold Gobey.
and Christopher Marino.
Awesome. Thank you, Skywalking Force.
And if you want to see where your funds are going, watch our last couple of videos.
Indeed. We hope they look and sound even better.
And we can get that quality just because of you, the Skywalking Force.
Yes.
And it helps us introduce more shows to the Skywalking Network. A new show? Another new show coming to the Skywalking Network? Why, yes.
Oh, it's a new YouTube show,
A new
right?
YouTube show, yes.
Very fun.
Details to follow.
Okay, I need a whip sound. Well, that wraps up episode 331 of
Skywalking through Neverland.
We want to thank Ed Dollista of the IndieCast for coming on the show, and all of you Skywalkers for sharing your stories on seeing Indiana Jones, and for watching the live stream today, and just everything you do. We really appreciate it, Skywalkers.
And as a reminder, Friday Night Pop Culture Trivia is now once a month starting in June. So stay tuned for the date, sometime probably around the Father's Day weekend.
Yes. All right, but we are still doing our Zoom roundtable discussions for the Bad Batch every Friday at 6:30 p.m. Now, this Friday, we aren't doing it because we'll be at Avengers Campus. So yes, I know, as the schedules open up, be aware, it might be Friday, it might be Saturday in the evening. So just keep tuned to our social media and the newsletter, all right? And I do realize I did not get the full newsletter out this past week, but we went to 3 theme parks for things, so I couldn't do it.
So we'll do our Bad Batch discussion on Saturday.
Okay.
How's that?
That
Saturday
sounds...
the 5th.
Have you checked the schedule?
I have not.
All right.
But I'm going to clear the schedule for this.
Okay. Now, if that is all too much to remember, please sign up to receive our weekly newsletter. You can sign up by clicking on the link in our show notes or heading to skywalkingthroughneverland.com and look for that tab, Sign Up for our newsletter. Now, we'd also like to thank our sponsor, Small World Vacations, for their continued support. Now, we'd also like to thank our sponsor, Small World Vacations, for their continued support. Are you thinking of a trip to Disney parks? Well, please fill out a Get a Quote form at smallworldvacations.com today. Once again, their service is free of charge, so check it out and tell them that Skywalking Through Neverland sent you. And also, Skywalkers, follow them on social media. On Instagram, they are at Small World Vacations, because between them and us, we will be doing some giveaways of Avengers Campus merchandise after the opening weekend. So to celebrate that, we are going to be giving gifts to you guys. Super exciting.
Love the giveaways.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you love Skywalking Through Neverland?
I do.
Well, yeah, you do. Do you love all the Marvel and Star Wars shows coming to Disney Plus?
Yes.
Well, consider becoming a member of the Skywalking Force, our Patreon. Here, we're going to be posting all of the Friday night discussions, the WandaVision discussions, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier discussions, the Bad Batch discussions, and coming up, the Loki discussions.
Mm-hmm.
All of those Zoom discussions, and there's a lot of fun nuggets in there. Those are all going to be made available to the Skywalking Force.
In fact, this week we released one of the discussions that does have a bit of us talking about Cruella and the Mighty Ducks Game Changers. So look for that. You never know what you're going to get with these bonus episodes.
It's like an episode within an episode.
Yes, and this bonus content begins at only $5 a month. So please head to skywalkingforce.com and check out the options.
Now, we are part of the Skywalking Network. where you can find other great shows like Talking Apes,
Classic Marvel Star Wars comics,
the Max Effects Podcast,
the Neverland Clubhouse,
Resilient Squadron,
Totally Tell Me Everything,
and the all-new Star Wars Ologies.
Yes, you can. Anything else you want to say?
And
Not yet.
And coming soon, the YouTube epic Collectopolis
Oh.
with our very own Kevin Toft.
Nice. All right, you can follow us on social media. We are at Skywalking Pod for Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Is there one other thing? Oh, yes, and Twitch. And you can join our Facebook group. So search Facebook for Skywalking Through Neverland group and request to join and then answer the questions that pop up.
Now, don't forget to stick around for bloopers and other fun bits that didn't make it into the show. And
Always remember.
to crack your whip.
Thank you. I'm not going to try that.
Go ahead.
To crack your whip. There we go.
And
Yay. Throw me the idol.
I throw you the whip.
Yes.
Throw me the whip. I throw you the idol.
There you go. Yay.
Adios, senor.
Go see the Virgil hugs.
Go see the there's
does
Virgil
that mean?
hugs.
What does it mean?
That means that Kevin Toft got a Virgil hug last weekend.
Yes, from
He
remind
and
everyone who that is.
Paul Williams.
Paul Williams.
Yes, who came up to about Kevin's hip,
Yes.
and we were working, so we weren't able to join him.
Oh.
Yeah, they went to go see a fun jazz show.
Oh, fun.
Hmm
Cool.
And I told Kevin all about my new love of jazz ever since Paul Williams loves jazz.
Nice.
All right, everyone. Well, now we're going to record our discussion with Ed Dollister.
That's right. So we have to say goodbye for now, but we hope you guys loved this episode, and yeah, look for the whole episode out on podcatchers later this week.
On Thursday.
Yay.
Yay.
All right, bye, Skywalker.